Okay, so this is day 3 of my experiment in changing my life around while starting from rock bottom. So I've done 2 videos so far. One was when I was at rock bottom, literally. Uh, then day 2 was kind of the first steps that I took, and I just wanted to share with you today how quickly things can change. If you kind of Well, it's not if you follow these things, but this is how I do it. So I don't go about change in exactly the same way that most people do. I prefer to spend a certain amount of time getting the conditions right for change. So I follow kind of like a feel good first philosophy, in that like if I'm in this kind of dull, low energy kind of mindset and sluggish, then that's kind of the outcomes that I'm going to get. But if I create the conditions around what it is that I want and need, then I've found time and time and time and time again that things shift. So yesterday I spent, like I said, I'm not kidding when I'm saying I'm at rock bottom. Like and I'm dealing with all the the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions and the feelings of low self worth. But I spent some time yesterday. I have a method for dealing with that, but I've allowed myself to sort of fall into the real kind of depths of despair to show that there's a way out. So I'm doing this in real time. So what I did yesterday is I spent some time just getting my, coming back into what I call a neutral state, and just and setting up the conditions. And there's an exact way that I do this. If you go to wait to the end of the video, there's a card will come up, the video that kind of runs you through the basics of this. And so I set my intentions. So it's a big one. It's not. It's not like it's not a. It's not any kind of mantra or anything like that. I have a very specific way that I set intentions, and I just use words. In fact, if you join up for my newsletter, I'll show you exactly how to do it. And I just got myself ready. I got myself in the right frame of mind. I got myself back into my body, and I just allowed everything to settle. And then I kind of went right and set my intentions of what it is that I needed and wanted. I don't know how quickly this happened because I hadn't checked my email, but I checked it within an hour of making yesterday's video, and something shifted. So I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting out my system at the moment and my methodologies in different ways. And every time I do, something happens, something comes back. But this was a bold move. Like, I'd reached out to a magazine and I'd literally given up hearing back from them. But within 1 hour of making yesterday's video, so that's outflow, I received a reply saying that this magazine would like me to do, they liked what I was doing, it fit in well with their magazine, and would I be willing to write an article. Now, I'm downplaying a little bit because this happens time and time and time and time again. It happens whenever you shift your and it's horrible having to kind of work your way around words because they've been bastardized, but whenever I shift into my being rather than my doing and what I want and what I want to have, when you shift your state of being, things just happen. Okay, so one of my kind of big examples of this is I'd actually read a book around turning your doingnesses into beingnesses, if that makes sense. So instead of going, oh, I want to do this and that, it's like you look at the what that means, what that would feel like, and what that would be like. So in terms of, I want to go and help people do this. It would be, what would that feel like to be that kind of person? And I did this once, and it was, and as soon as I shifted into the being, I was like, I want to be helpful. I got a phone call within an hour saying this person said, and I'd put my name down to help people sail their boats. And this person rang up within an hour of me doing that, making that shift. And again, it's not a one-off. I've got story upon story upon story of this happening. But yeah, they said, I'll fly you up here. Can you go tomorrow? Come and help me sail my boat down. And this was on the west coast of Australia. It happens, and it kind of makes sense that that shifting your conditions opens up different avenues. If your signal is one of chaos and frantic energy, or like that low mood and like woe is me kind of thing, and you might have every reason in the world to be like that and to feel like that. And I'm not taking that away, but if that's your signal, that's what you're kind of going to get in return. And that might seem like an out there concept, but the more you live this and the more you experiment with it, the more you'll see that it's kind of true and it makes sense. Like if you were giving someone a job, if you had a job to give, and there was 5 people there, and out of those 5 people, 3 of them were like, God, really, you're not going to give them the job. That's not the vibe you want. Okay. You're looking for someone that matches. So in order for you to receive the right resources, you have to be the right source. So as soon as you activate your real signal and become your true source, that's when resources can come to you. It's an energetic principle. It just, I don't even know how or why it works. It just works. And it kind of makes sense that it would on an energetic level. So rather than, it's not to say that I don't go and look for opportunities. What I'm saying is that my first step is to, instead of keeping going, is to wind it back, come into a neutral state, settle my system, get into my body, set my intentions, and oftentimes they're just, my intentions are calm, peaceful. Like they're of value. I assign at least 3 values. And those 3 values form this kind of intention. Again, intention means to stretch towards. So we're creating these conditions that allow change to occur naturally. And it's a systems approach. If you have a system that's clogged and it's distorted, it's going to produce shitty outcomes. But if your system is clean and clear and has alignment and has clarity and has a sort of direction in place, then you're going to get very different outcomes. The other thing is that the way you do one thing is the way that you do all things. So once you've assigned that intention, go about your day in that intention. How you clean your house, how you walk, how you make food, how you make drinks, how you talk to people, how you take a shower, how you move, your thoughts. Like, I call it intentional play. And it's a dynamic state. Instead of like being closed down and like, it's, you can almost feel it. You can almost feel like, this hood's coming over your head and you can't see anywhere. But then it's literally, you can feel it. As soon as you kind of lift that, things open up and you become alive. You can become dynamic. And it doesn't have to be over the top. It can literally be just the tiniest little fleck beyond this calm neutral state. If you think about on a clock, you wouldn't be going from, to 6 o'clock in terms of energy. You wouldn't even be going 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock at the very max. But even that's a lot. So I try and sit around 2 minutes. just the tiniest little bit of potential, and that's often enough to keep things moving along. And I said, as soon as you set that signal, you're signaling the universe, the energetic field of your intentions, and you become the source, and you draw resources. And I said, it's happened too often for me to dismiss this, and I know that people are going to go, oh, la di da di da. Well, try it. Things haven't worked out for, however long. Try something different. Try this. What's the absolute worst? There's no downside, because you feel good, and I don't. Again, it's not over the top like yeah. It's just if someone goes, "How you feeling?" You go, "Yeah, I'm good." Okay, 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm good. I'm alright. Not like, I'm good. Well, yeah. And that's a better energy to be in, no matter what. And you'll be surprised what can come out of that. Okay, you just one thing leads to another. The way you do one thing is then the way you do all things, and then you get this inspiration. It's like, okay, I'll go and do this. I'll check this. I'll write an email. I'll talk to someone. I'll look for something. I'll and as this dynamic state starts to expand and express itself, you open up more opportunities. It becomes a living process, a living practice. And like I said, if you keep following along, you're going to see how it works and how quickly it can work. All right? So already, within 1 hour of me shifting my state, something happened, something came back. And who knows what will come of that. Okay. Again, it happened last Friday as well. Same thing happened, I hadn't documented it. But as soon as I created that shift, so I'd sort of reached out to everyone that I know and said, look, here's this a video I've put together around shifting your state. And I got very little response because, to be quite honest, my energy was very low. I was at a low point. As soon as I shifted it, I got 3 phone calls back. And one of them was one of my oldest friends. He's known me for longer than anyone else on earth, except for my family. And I, took him through my system, program, whatever you want to call it, method, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's self-healing system, blah, blah, blah. But it shifted something inside of him. And that came from a shift within me. There's no other way to put it, because no one had gotten back to me in days. Polite, sort of like, oh yeah, I'll have a look, but yeah. And then again, within a couple of hours, 3 phone calls. So try it. Worst thing can happen is you'll feel good. Pretty good trade-off, really. Anyway, stick with me. Check out the actual mechanics of it in the video above. You'll learn a bit more about what it is that I do. Come and check out the site. Join the newsletter. Blah blah blah. You know the deal. And yeah, let's do this.